World Card Game Federation here with a not local match. This is actually taking place at our local game store. We're actually making our way back there. It's kind of fun times. This one is going to be a return of a fellow you probably haven't seen in ages upon ages. It's going to be my buddy Seth coming back. Seth was always a Frieza player for pretty much the duration of the whole game. It's nice to see him playing something a little differently. It's going to have a lot in common with others. It's going to be a slight variation of it. Traditionally, this is a red Ascension build. He is actually using the red Ruthless mastery for this one, which is actually kind of interesting. Actually, no, I'm wrong. My apologies. That was our previous match, which we did not record. Shut my mouth. So we're going to go ahead and see who goes first. This one, in theory, should actually be an easy match for Seth. We wanted to make sure to give him a challenge that was very unorthodox, and I would say that the Android 17 deck is good at annoying you to death. And it's a surprisingly close match despite being what I just told you. So it looks like I'm going to go ahead and get the first move. Hopefully that means I get to do a little bit of setup and some annoying setup. I do. So you guys remember observation drill, I want to say it is, or viewing drill? I don't recall. But this one is one of my favorites. It's the one that every time I make him ditch a card, he has to mill a card. And you can get some really interesting things going with Mischevous with this one. I do like it a lot. I have no use for my anger whatsoever, but I'm going to go ahead and get a dice out to track it. I'm going to go ahead and power up. Looks like I'm carrying a sphere, which probably I think ends up being a mistake. So it goes back over to Seth, or excuse me, Seth's first turn. Now, like we said, Seth isn't going to have too much trouble getting through this one the way that he should as far as running for the goals and the way this deck's built. Though Seth is a cautious player, unless he has a Botho hand, I seldom see him go on the first turn. We'll see what he does. So if you guys remember the olden days, right before Panini, okay, he's going to pass Rejuve. I didn't quite catch what he Rejuve there. It's going to go back over to me. I have, I think, what is it, a black search maneuver? A black searching technique. You know, I love to combine some names sometimes just for fun, keep you all on your toes. And I have a hand that just plain ain't worth going in on. There's nothing there that would be worth going in on. Like, that's a pressure hand at best. I wouldn't want to go in on like a couple of blocks and a mill. Nah. Though apparently I might just do that. Who knows? Like in retrospect, while rewatching this match, I don't see any reason to go in. But okay, I'm going to go in. All right, here we are. Don't mind us. You're actually looking at printouts for my own card game. Still under construction, but nearing completion. At some point in the future, I want to unveil that one. I have kind of a special way to show it off.
All right, my opening move is to... Oh, he's going to great.
Yeah, I'm going to open up with Mischevous. You know, one thing we found with using Mischevous, being with these newer cards, are always just loaded, chock full of crazy effects. Just do them in order. I know that sounds like incredibly just, you know, basic info, but what I'm saying is it's a nice way to not miss triggers, because I believe I'm going to miss a trigger somewhere in this one for the mill. Okay, we use our slight randomization to make him ditch a card. Looks like he uses one of those red set 8 physicals I forget the name of. Okay, and his next attack gains draw a card, discard a card. Just giving him a heads up on how all these things tend to work together, because there's a lot that happens with them. A lot of annoying. Nice.
I'm not manipulating anything else.
Well, too bad I don't have another attack.
Oh, this guy.
So he is going to activate the Ascension Mastery in response. In a friendly game, we don't mind calling out stuff like that, saying, hey, I actually don't have any more attacks, so this is silly. And if you look at my hand, that means it's going to be extra silly, because...
Let's see, this card will actually be in your discard pile. And you'll actually... here's the thing. When I make you discard a card, you mill a card. Okay. I forgot that effect.
Oh, so instead of banishing it,
so no, like remember when I made you ditch a card from your hand? So wait, which one did you discard? This one?
I ditched, yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Then from discarding, I make you mill one, so that one would be in your discard pile, and now you activate the mastery.
Okay, sorry about that. We did a little bit of correction there on the order of operations there, because I'm pretty sure somebody would have griped in the comments about that one. So I went back and we caught it before we wouldn't be able to retain the game state. I'm going to use probably Black Invitation. If he has a sphere, I'm a... Good job, Seth. So he spheres me. So you guys got to remember, we've been trying to get Seth to see the, he rejuvenated the sphere itself. I could be wrong. I think it's a little bit of a misplay. I didn't quite catch that. At the time, I just saw it right now. So I'm going to lower his anger when throwing my 4-stage physical. And he stops it anyway, and he's going to level, because remember, his level 1 doubles all. It takes the final number and doubles it, so that son of a biscuit just leveled off of it. He needed hardly any effort. So, you know, one thing that still shocks me a tad, I don't think the actual AT, the power stages represented on these cards were actually represented in the show. I think they're actually a little bit off. So, because in my memory, fully beefed up Trunks in terms of physical power, of raw power level, he's able to catch Cell, but not for speed, obviously. So he just should have had a power level contemporary with Cell. Oh, apparently I milled him out with a Trunks bash and a sphere with searching technique, which is fine, which is a fun little guy. A fun move to do if you're going to try to gut a deck out. But in retrospect, knowing a little bit more about Seth's build and how he tends to do this, those weren't all that important cards. Okay, combat ends, nothing of value or note happens. I don't know why I held an energy block. That'll come back to bite me. He does passively raise his anger with Ascension at the end of combat. He drew his cards. I don't know if he's going to go in on me.
Yeah, the problem is I'm going to get her a new phone for Christmas. She already knows about this, but this is her phone. She still has a 7.
Okay, he's going to pass Rejuvenate Sphere, which is wise, but I think against me, I'd probably rather have it in my hand.
You got some hilarious stuff going on.
Yeah, I got some neat stuff in my hand, where if I wanted to press an advantage, ditch him out a bunch of cards, make him basically have a fruitless combat, I could do that with this one.
Use Mastery, banish the top card of my opponent's discard pile. Oh, sorry, discard pile.
I don't have
Oh, discard. I don't even know my own rules here.
Then I'm going to discard a card from your hand.
Okay, let's go ahead and get the Mischevous' randomized discard here. This one gets ditched.
Next attack gains draw.
And then because I made him ditch a card, mill a card. Okay, good. I almost didn't catch that here during the match again. And there it goes. He ends up milling the card that he revealed. No harm, no foul. And then we're seeing over here.
I need more hand at this point, is what the problem is.
Yeah, man.
Cross.
Ooh, he's going to throw a right cross. Remember, right cross is one of those ones where once you paid the stages, it's ready to roll. It doesn't need you to have a hit effect on it, which is my memory of this silly card.
It's going to hit me. We did. I still have all my stages. I just need to do it.
Oh, yeah, I was still at AT max, so there's, I wasn't exactly that far down as it might have implied. Okay, I'm going to take the hit from that one, take some very minor damage. It wasn't the point. The point was either him to gain his anger. Now I'm going to try to slow him down, but I don't know how effective it's going to be.
Who is this person?
What's up, Cruz?
So those of you who've been playing DBZ a very long time might remember that one of our favorite people, Cruz, used to lead our little play group back when Panini was still going, and he showed up for the evening, and it was quite a fun time.
Oh, really? You afraid it's going to touch you?
Yeah.
Don't mind us. We're hard on each other.
And then I'm sick of you with your hand, so let's stare down this.
And let's get the stare down rolling, which is awfully nice. I don't think I can do much to slow him down. Yeah,
Let's see. I need to start this.
Why would I think that? There was a 2 anger gain on that one. Man, this happens when you're away from the game for a long time. So because I made him ditch a card, I made him mill. I'm doing the equivalent of damage at least, slowing him down. See, why did I think that was a good idea? I got nothing on that. You guys as good as mine, not paying attention. That he had the Furious Lunge hit 2 anger raise when he's already at 3 anger is the same as saying, why don't you just level up, buddy?
2, 6.
Okay, it's going to take care of my last of my stages. I'm a little injured. He is going to go ahead and level on the hit. He is now level 3. Judging by the length of this match, I must hold him here for some time. Heaven knows how or why.
We'll throw a Black Invitation, make you destroy the top 2 cards of your life deck.
Yeah, there goes Black Invitation doing what it
And I
do.
realized we didn't do a thing where one of those triggers was to make you draw a card.
Sadly,
So on the last attack, you should have, let's see, what did we say?
Yeah.
We'll put those 2 back.
Sorry, guys, we got to fix the game state with the whole draw and mill a
And
card.
then we're going to resolve it on lunge. So you'll draw a card, and then this makes you mill a card, and then activate 17 that makes you ditch a card. So, yep, and then you mill a card because it's dumb later
at
on.
least help,
So, yeah, okay, we got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, a lot's happening.
It's all of it's dumb.
I want to call the judge over. That was definitely a foul play.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of his triggers there. None of
Mario
it
was cheating.
was cheating real hard.
What else is new? Fair enough.
I was looking at Seth and I saw him making pigeon noises.
No.
Don't mind us. We're just talking about how having to fix a game state always looks that way.
I'm creatively moving the odds in my favor, alright? Can we just be clear?
Did I tell you about that?
Asshole.
We made like a little mini card game for all of our friends, that kind of stuff.
By the way, that ended up being a
No one
thing.
ever told me.
That's what we were talking
No one ever
about.
told me. I never saw you finished it.
So there was a homegrown DBZ-esque card game that had all of us characters on it. Apparently, the bulk of us were ally cards because it is DBZ-esque. All crews made this thing and forgot to tell all of us about it. Apparently, it is years old at this point. I would love to have had that here back in the heyday of the game as a featured thing to play on the side.
Oh, how awful.
It's awesome. So he loves it. He's like, "Can I get this holo, please?" I'm like, "When I print them, yes, we'll send you a full set."
I believe it's your action, because then I would have used Dark Invitation and then, yeah. Mastery?
So I don't think we got the full mill for Black Imitation. I think we missed its 2 discards, but I think after all the hoo-ha that happened, we could just basically say I didn't throw it. So I did taking a physical, hit from his 3 physical. I get crit for the anger I don't have.
I'll attack you with a 4-stage physical that lowers your anger.
So this must have been how I stalled him out. I did very tiny little hits. 4-stage physical.
And I'll hit you with a Sin Choke for 5. No prevention.
So I crit him over here with Sinister Choke, which does make me wonder why I didn't hold on to that card.
But, hey, that's it. Here we go. Passively raise your anger like it was something to do.
Okay, it's Seth's turn again. Good old Ascension, even things up.
I assume Angela had a card.
Honestly, the Millard one's the only one I remember because it was so freaking funny. I
Ah.
had them all saved to my computer though. I should go back and.
Okay, Seth's deck's looking a little ragged after this point, despite the slight damage I took. I'd say Seth is slightly the worst for the wear here. He's definitely level 3. I definitely set him on a bit of a timer with how long I'm going to be able to... Oh, I declared combat with what in my hand again? Let's take us a good look. I only got 3 power stages. Oh, okay, I lower his anger 1. So it's a 4-stage physical. Don't tell me he's got a physical block.
It's the weakest move. Oh, look.
There we go. He gets the stages back. He gets his 2 anger. That's a very good card to play in MPB running Trunks. Goodness. Okay, he's going to throw a Trunk Smash. He's going to raise his anger 1. Apparently I'm going to stop it. Oh, it does automatically banish that drill. Dude. Stop it. I use the, I forgot this name. It becomes an Omni after you've milled. But I don't need it for that. I was just going to lower his anger 1 level. I use my small amount of power stages to use an energy attack that does 6 life cards of damage. I'm not going to crit. He simply hit too much endurance.
Your energies are turned off, as if he used them.
Yeah, what was I thinking? Was I just trying to put a little bit of damage on him? Harsh his buzz? Okay, so good old Black Energy Web is set, or hits. And he's going to use Pulverize. He's going to banish some cards. I don't tend to recur too much from the discard pile in this deck, so it's not that the discard pile isn't important. I just don't do much from it. Man, I almost forgot how long ago it was when we actually started visiting the past in this game. Feels like a long time ago.
What is that? Is that B or is that A?
Okay, the Seth is going to go ahead and go over here, and he's going to go ahead and hit me with a Pulverize Physical, which is fairly minor, but my AT is low enough to where it should be able to hurt me pretty good.
Numbers.
4 and 3 is 7 plus 2 is 9.
He gets a damage buff on this level, and I'm not hitting any endurance to speak of. Yeah, and having to take some brutal losses for what I'm banishing for endurance, but it's better than dying early. Ooh, Black D-Burst is going to hit him real late in the combat where it's going to matter hardly at all. 4 life cards.
1 combat. That's real petty.
So mind us, we threw D-Burst and Energy Web in 1 combat, the mythical.
Banish this card and make you ditch the card in your deck.
Yeah, I did activate Mischevous, so he has no more cards which to play. He would be able to...
Sealed everything.
Wow, I emptied his hand, turned off all attacks. It's a bad position to be in. That combat clearly ends. He raises his anger 1. It goes back to Seth because for whatever reason, I thought to be aggressive in an Android 17 Black Mischevous deck.
You don't have anything.
So he's still gonna attack, right?
Nope.
He can do it.
By the way, I'm loving your content.
What?
Okay, so it's one your action.
Dude, also, I still love everything you send me on Facebook. Every time you send me something, I'm like, I gotta watch this.
Oh, well, I do send you awful stuff.
It's great.
Don't mind us. He's resolving his level 3 trunks.
And realize I only send you the worst things I have.
Cruz had been away from the game for so long he hadn't heard us. He didn't know we were still making stuff, online.
I was like, what? No way. I was watching it, and I was like, oh, look, yeah, he has the writer shirt on. That's definitely him.
He's going to go ahead and pulverize. He's going to grab this instead, red right cross, and that's what I would grab too. I think if anything, right cross is more proactive in a physical. He'll have his stages. He can always throw it as his first move. I was thinking that blocking hand might be a card, but I think pulverize says it has to be an attack.
This is bullshit. First time I congratulated him, second time I'm like, no.
Get out.
Yeah, my God. Get out of here.
Okay, so Seth's going to go ahead and rejuve in that turn.
Did you have a card in your hand?
Or, I'm sorry.
You resolve pulverize. Now it's your turn.
Yeah.
You crazy man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we almost got the turn order. I was like, oh, wow, Seth's turn must have went by like in a flash.
I don't know. I've been out.
Oh boy, is Seth gutsy enough to take on this hand and come at me? He is not. He's going to pass. Man, heroic dashing punch has messed up every deck he's ever thrown at me. With that, just gets me. Okay, I never got to use Power Mimic. I threw it out in this deck, and I always wanted to do it to duplicate the mill and double mill them, but I never got it out. Everything lined up just wrong. I pass. I rejuve a Sin Choke. I guess if I got to put something back, it's an okay choice. Goes back over to Seth. Seth's going to do his draws, his dirty draws. He has most of what he needs for this, not all.
That was my ankle.
John put a golf ball in there to see
Oh, our buddy John had gotten injured at his job. It was rough. So Seth's not confident enough in that hand. That was like 75% of the way there. He's going to pass. He's going to rejuve. It's going to go back to me.
had you all twisted. I think it's just a proxy. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is the new.
So I'm going to power up my 3 stages. I guess at this point I should probably use the correct number of dice instead of try to use 6.
Because I didn't use all of his levels, so I think, the other 2 were over here.
You could really make something disgusting with this.
And honestly,
So if you guys don't know, Cruz is one of the greatest Ginyu players to ever play the game. We're talking like if you were to go over the entire history of Panini Z, Cruz would be probably in the top 3 greatest Ginyu players alive.
I'm going to declare combat and test me.
Okay, looks like I have enough to harass Seth. I don't know why I would bother going into this like this, but apparently I am.
Stare down, sir.
Ooh, okay. So I'm going to stare him down.
Let me see.
Time! Get rid of time!
I want you to get rid of time.
There we go.
I would too.
Or do I care? I have to think about that for a minute. Maybe getting rid of his anger racing physical like Mule Kick would have been a better idea.
Mastery.
Oh, he did it. He did the one move.
Okay, he is going to mastery into a chop, so we got 3 into 4. And this one is going to have flat stage, because I think we thought it used AT, but it doesn't.
Oh, yeah, I think they're behind each one. 9 stages? Oh, it is.
This is where we're at.
9 stages?
And I take a 9 stage.
That's with the base? Did you get to do the base?
No, there's no 18.
Oh, okay. Just stages.
See, I thought it was actually supposed to hit me for more than that. That's why I was a little surprised.
Alright, I'm going to scout maneuver. And,
Can't remember.
It's late game. Late game scout maneuvers are just BS because you got to think about what hasn't been played. Here's the catch. Everything's been played. So Seth uses a lot of duplicates. So basically, if it's out here, in any sizable numbers, it's just great. Even if I picked something good, it couldn't do more than 1 or 2. Okay, so I picked Red Lunge or Furious Lunge, and it looks like there was exactly 1. And that was great. A really marvelous hit. I could have named anything and hit 1.
3 above 0, yes. That was
Stupid rock it out.
I'm putting together Virginia right now.
It's alright, I have the other one locked away. Let's keep his power contained.
The tournament practice deck.
Dude, it worked.
So it's over.
You got your ass kicked a lot, but hey.
Whoa, he got his mule kick off. He hit the 5 anger, exploded up to level 4. And to my knowledge, he's not really going to spend a long time on level 4. At least I don't think so.
I guess I'm going to take it.
Yeah, we'll take the damage from that one. I think it's an AT plus 3 or AT plus 2. It's a decent enough hit. It does take my stages. It knocks me to 0. I do end up taking some decent damage. Wow, even with the endurance, decent endurance on that card, I still took a sizable hit.
Go ahead and mastery, banish Mule Kick. From the discard, make your picture card from your hand.
Nice.
Your next attack gains draw card.
I think he's going to try to throw his level 4 Trunks physical, the one that makes him skip twice.
The timing ended up being bad again. Guess I have to pass, and this one's a
Darn!
So that combat's, I'm going to run out of steam, running up at him. Seth's deck's looking real thin, but I don't think he needs much, if anything, to get over this last little speed bump. He's going into a final combat where he's got a 2 anger in hand that's level 4, and then 1 anger already. And basically, if he really wanted to, he could activate the mastery, make me skip, and then get almost the entire way without even letting me have an action. He's going to pass. It really is, he's going to not rejuvenate a blocking hand. I don't know what's the point of that. Because I would always want blocking hand back in the deck if I can get it. So I put out another viewing drill, which is great.
I think I'm going to just miss you, because if I don't, I'm just going to run away with it. And just win in one turn. I will declare.
Oh, okay, so apparently I think with my 2 Ditch'em cards in my hand, I would be able to slow him down enough to keep him from MPV. It probably ain't true.
Make you ditch card from your hand. This is at random. So
Roll for a random. Just knock the card out of his hand.
oh, well, I just
And he does. And, oh, wow, worthless, or a useless, rather, red relaxation. Because I made him ditch a card, he ends up...
Don't you just master your way out of this, you son of
Because Seth's probably going to do that. I would do that. I would mastery into my level 4 attack, or I mastery into another attack, and then finish the game off with the level 4. These are probably pretty solid strategies at this point. So I believe we're waiting on Seth's choice here. Like I said, if I were playing it, anything would involve the mastery. He's got enough cards left in his life deck to be able to handle it. He goes with the red sword stab instead. He has a better idea than I do. And he actually, because he played a card with sword in the title, oh no! He be able to get an unstoppable one that raises his anger. I believe that's what happens.
When's the platform for his 8?
Oh, that's before your power.
Oh boy, we're coming up on it.
Oh, wait, yeah.
No. We didn't do that. We don't need to worry about Mischevous' draw effect. Whenever he draws a card, none of that's been played off yet. So I do take the hit from the sword stab, which is pretty decent. I was well at 0 already. And then it goes back to me. I'm going to try to slow him down, lower his anger 1, which is probably the only move I really had. I could have went with a ditch a card out of his hand, but we'll go with that and done. He had a in-hand physical. Yeah, the hit effect on the level 1 physical. He's just going to go ahead and take the hit, and then
resolve our thing where you were supposed to draw a card on that sword.
No, stop. No. I didn't use it. No. We needed to do viewing drill, but that's kind of it. Also, I didn't activate Power Mimic because I don't think I thought I had time.
Your action was to use Trunks' power?
No. I was just asking if that had any other.
No, that was it.
Uh-oh. And he is going to go ahead and mastery, raise his anger 1, and he's going to Trunks power to MPPV. The game, she is over. Thank you for your time. It was a great match.